Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Red Zone CPA system. How to get instant floods of traffic and instant floods of conversions to your CPA offers. I'm going to discuss the entire course here. It's a very simple process. I'm going to take you through the whole thing, and let's get started. This is an awesome system, and the reason why it's such an awesome system is because it's so simple to do. Anyone can do it. No computer knowledge is required whatsoever. I actually don't have any computer knowledge at all. Everything that I do is paid for. So if I need a website done, I just go out and hire someone, or if I need an ad written up or something, I just pay people to do it because I know that I don't have any technical skills whatsoever. This slideshow that you're seeing right now is created by somebody else. I tell them what to write, and they write it. If you don't have the knowledge to do something, then you can hire someone else to do it if you need it done, but for this course, we don't need any computer knowledge whatsoever. Don't overthink it. It's a very simple course, and what tends to happen is when you have something that's so easy, people tend to try to make it into something that it's not. This course is very simple, and it's a very basic step-by-step process that anyone can do. So just keep it that way, and don't overthink it, and don't try to go crazy with it. And most importantly, you have to get out there and do it. If you read the ebook that came along with this, or you read some of the other courses that I've put out, you'll know that I say 95% of the people who buy information don't ever do it. You have to turn the information that you have into knowledge by doing it. Okay, so make sure you go out there and do it to the best of your ability. Let's go through the overview and talk a little bit about the system and how it works. The first step is to get approved for a CPA network. We're going to be concentrating on email submits as well as zip code submits. We're going to talk a little bit about the hook and how to pick an event. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be going to events to promote our CPA offers in a very, very, I don't want to say sneaky because that's probably not the right word, but a very creative way. Outside the box thinking always works. So we're going to be using specific events to promote our offers. And hopefully with time, you'll be able to outsource that so that you don't have to go to the events. Now, you can start off by going. Maybe you go to the first 2 or 3 just to get a feel of how the system actually works. Then you go out there and hire people to do it for you. That's the way that I do it. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to print some materials to advertise our offer at the event. We're going to send people to the event. Now, that's what I was talking about before. In my business, I pay people to go to the event so that I don't have to. So hopefully in your business, you'll get to the point where you'll be able to send others to the event as opposed to you going yourself. But I do recommend that you do go to the first couple just so you can get a feel of how this system actually works and how the hook works and how everything goes into it. You know, just the whole process altogether. Then what we're going to do is we're going to send the people at the event back to our offer over and over and over and over again so that they convert over and over again, the same person, sometimes 14, 15, 20 times even. And we're going to make a lot of money doing it, okay? Step number 1 is getting approved for the CPA network. Number 1, you must have a website to get approved for the CPA network. They look at those things to make sure that you're a legitimate internet marketer. They want to make sure that you're not some scammer or spammer out there just trying to pick up a few extra dollars. But what I've found with the process that I went through, a simple blog on WordPress or Blogger or something like that will work fine. I had someone in my local area create me a blog for $100, made it look a little pretty, and that website worked out just fine to get me approved. Be very honest on your application. I told the CPA network, listen, I don't know anything about marketing products on the internet. This was 2 years ago. I knew nothing about the internet whatsoever. And I told them that. I was very honest with them. But I also told them, listen, I've been in business for myself since I was 18 years old, doing retail business, dealing with customers face-to-face every single day of my life. So I'm going to be an asset to your network. I was very honest with them. I was very upfront with them. And they found out that I was a legitimate business person in my area. And I meant what I said. And I was real. And I was going to do things in an honest fashion. See, when you're converting free things, the scam mentality kind of sticks out because a lot of people will be attracted to that. Someone only has to put in a name or an email address or a zip code or a phone number that will attract the people who are going to try and fake it or do something that's not really the most honest thing in the world. So we want to make sure that we make ourselves stand out as honest, legitimate, upfront business people that are going to be an asset to their network. And as long as we do that, we're not going to have a problem getting approved for the network. Step number 3, and this is the most important part of the approval process. And this is a little tip that I was given to after my first network that I applied to. Because see, what happened was they called me, and then I spoke to them, and then I got approved. A friend of mine who was a little bit more into the internet and internet marketing and knew a little bit about how things work told me, hey, listen, when you go to apply to those CPA networks, give them a call a little bit after you submit your application, because it shows that you're really interested in doing business with them, and it shows an initiative, that you're taking the initiative to get the relationship started. I started doing that, and I was approved instantly for 5 other networks right in a row, one right after the other. And the reason why I'm with 5 networks, and I'll go into this more a little bit later, but the reason why I'm with actually a total of 6 networks is because I constantly switch my offers. Because again, what we're trying to do is get one person to submit the offer over and over and over and over again. Okay, now we're not just going to take one person. We're going to take thousands of people. But we don't want to just convert them one time. We want them to keep coming back and doing it over and over again. So because of that, you need multiple offers to promote, because we're going to keep switching it. Okay, but we're going to talk about that a little bit later on. So after you submit your application, call the network 30 minutes after that and just tell them, introduce yourself. Listen, I just applied for your network. I want to get the relationship started. What's the next step in the approval process, and go through a little bit of a conversation with them. And what's going to end up happening is you're going to form a relationship, and if you're a right fit for their network and they're a right fit for your business, the relationship will start and you'll be able to promote their offers. It worked for me 6 times straight, and that's actually not true because I didn't do it on the first network. The first network called me the day after I submitted the application, and I was telling a friend of mine, and I told this story already, but I was telling a friend of mine that I was trying to do some things on the internet, and he had given me the tip to call. So it's actually 5 times after the first one that tip actually worked. Okay, why email submits? Well, zip submits are okay too, which is where somebody puts in their zip code and you get paid for it. The reason why we use email submits and zip submits is because it's quick and simple. And it's one single entry. We don't have to worry about collecting a name, address, a phone number, an email, credit card information, PayPal information. We don't have to worry about any of those things. The only thing that we're worried about here is just one single simple entry. It's an email address. It's non-threatening. We're not asking for anything like payment information or addresses or full names or anything like that. Just an email address, and that's what you're going to get paid on. This is very important. It's good on mobile. The reason why it's good on mobile, there's a lot of things that are good on mobile. You can fill out a whole entire credit card payment form on a mobile phone if you want to, but if you're sitting there doing that on a mobile phone, it's a lot more difficult, and it makes losing the prospect in the middle of the buying process much more probable. If all they have to do is put their email address in, it's just a simple one-step process. So it makes doing it on a mobile phone much, much easier. And mobile is becoming more and more a part of our day-to-day lives, especially tied together with the internet, because every mobile phone in the world pretty much has internet capability. The pay is very low for email submits. The low range is about 65 cents. The high range is about $1.50. But we're going to be concentrating on high volume. We want to do very, very high volume and not really worry about a $35 sale or a $45 sale or a $10,000 sale. We just want to worry about getting a whole bunch of people into our cycle of repeating the process over and over and over again. Okay? So the pay is low, but don't let that scare you because the volume is extremely high. Okay, the hook. Before I go into this slide, I want to tell you a little bit about my beginnings in the CPA industry and how I got started with it. My son, who's 17 years old, and he was 17 years old at the time, he's 19 now. 17 years old at the time, him and three of his friends came to me and they showed me this idea. Now, at the time, I knew nothing about the internet whatsoever. I sold and still sell baby clothes out of a retail outlet. Okay, that was one of my businesses at the time, and it still is today, and it's growing every year, and it's the first business I started, and it's my heart, and I love everything about it. I could talk to you about car seats and onesies for hours upon hours. I love it. But my son and three of his friends from school came over and told me about this, and they said, listen, we found this thing on the internet. It's called CPA networks, and we were on this forum and we were looking through things, and it's something that we were really attracted to. We think it's a good idea. Now, at the time, again, I knew nothing about the internet marketing end of things. I knew nothing about it whatsoever. I was aware of affiliate marketing. I was aware of some of the product sellers out there. I was aware of some of the internet companies. MySpace at the time was very big. And Facebook was just kind of getting started. YouTube was very big. You know, it was only 2 years ago. It wasn't like it was a really long time ago, but I wasn't really aware of the CPA industry and what it was. Immediately when I saw it, my breath was taken away. And the reason why I was so attracted to it was very simple. I understand from being in a retail business how important a steady flow of qualified prospects is. I understand that. It's almost more important than actual sales figures. And here's why. If a business doesn't have qualified prospects coming in their door or on their website over and over and over again, they're not going to survive. They're just not going to survive. They have to have a steady flow of qualified prospects coming through their door at all times. So when I saw the CPA business model, and I realized that you're not paying for sales, you're not paying for clicks, you're not paying for views, you're paying for actual leads, my brain just started going crazy. When I looked at it further and found out that I could get paid for sending people leads and I don't have to worry about them buying anything, then my brain really started going crazy. So that's what drew me to CPA, the CPA industry. Now, the problem I had was the offers were ridiculous. Free iPhone, free computer, free gift card. Now, I understand that you need to be where the buyers are. If you're going to be successful in business, you need to be where the buyers are. A great example would be the Warrior Forum. A lot of people do special offers if they're in that industry because that's where the buyers are. A lot of people who are selling products put their products, their informational products, on ClickBank. Why do they do that? Because their real quote-unquote buyers, who are their affiliates, that's their main target, their real buyers congregate there. See, when you launch a digital product, it's much the same as launching a physical product or starting a physical company. When you start an offline brick and mortar business, the first thing you're thinking about is not, I need to get a lot of customers in my door so I can sell a whole bunch of products. That's not the first thing you're thinking. That's not even in the top 10. The first thing you think about is, I need to surround myself with the best people to fill my voids, whatever my voids are. If I can't sell, I need to find salespeople. If I can't market, I need to find marketers. If I can't advertise, I need to find advertisers. If I can't do accounting, I need to surround myself with people who can. Digital product creators understand that they're not going to go out there and sell their own stuff. So the first thing that they're thinking about is not, how do I drive a whole bunch of traffic to my site, the good ones anyway, the successful ones. They're thinking, how do I get the people who are going to fill that void? And the people who fill that void are on ClickBank, because the people who fill that void are the affiliates. Those are the people who are going to fill the void of the missing traffic that they need to pay their bills. So I understood that, but the problem was, where do you find a buyer for a free gift card or a free computer? Where do you find that buyer? And that's what I had trouble with. So I figured that I would just completely forget about what was actually being given away. I'll completely forget about what the offer actually is. And I'll go with a completely different hook, something that somebody is passionate about. And what that is a vote. It's a vote. Now, what is a vote? A vote is, if my wife is watching, and this annoys me to no end, but if my wife is watching American Idol, after the show is over, she sits on the couch for 3 hours with everyone's numbers down and votes for all of the people that she likes. We go on NFL.com. Who's going to win this game? 10,000 people pick the Vikings. 20,000 people pick the Cowboys. Whoever. My mother likes Dancing with the Stars, calling for 3 hours after the show is over. They're passionate about what they do. They're passionate about the vote. Think about the presidential election of 2008. Millions and millions of people were so passionate about getting the vote out that they spent their free time convincing others to do it. People paid millions and millions of dollars to get you out there to vote. So what did I do? I came up with a very simple process that ties that passion to an offer. It takes that passion and pairs it with an offer. So what ends up happening is, someone is so passionate about the Texas Rangers baseball team that if I say to them, listen, they got a little contest going on here, vote for who's going to win the game, the Rangers or the Angels. They're a Rangers fan, they're going to go and vote for the Texas Rangers. And I figured out a way to tie that to a CPA offer. And that's what the hook is. So when I started doing this, I completely focused on sporting events, because that's where I knew a lot of people who are passionate about something, passionate about some party in a contest. Okay? And that's the key. They were passionate about one side of a contest, one party involved in a contest. And that's why I named the course and the system the Red Zone system, because I concentrated a lot on football in the beginning. I don't anymore, but I did back then. They're very passionate about it. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to pick an event. Now, this gets a little bit tricky, so make sure you pay attention to this, watch it a couple of times if you need to, or even take notes if you feel inclined to do that. You want to pick a local sporting event, okay, something that's in your area. The sport doesn't really matter. Just make sure it's local. Stick in your local area, but the sport doesn't really matter. You always want to pick the next event. And this is where it gets a little tricky. And it's not very, very crazy, but if you just glance over this, you're not going to catch this. A common mistake that people will make is they'll look at their local sporting team's schedule and they'll say, okay, the Texas Rangers are playing the Angels on Tuesday, so I'm going to go to that event. I'm going to promote there, or I'm going to send employees there or outsourcers there, and I'm going to promote there. And they print, remember we said before, we're going to talk about printing materials? They print materials with information from that game. So the materials will say Texas Rangers and the Angels, okay? But the problem is that the people don't have time to go to the site and get hooked or make the vote and complete the offer. They don't have time to do that because you picked the event that you were at. So what you want to do is you always want to pick the next event. If the Rangers are playing the Angels on Tuesday and they're playing the Astros on Wednesday, go to the Angels game, but promote with the Astros game. And you'll understand that a little bit more once we go through a couple of more of the steps. And the PDF file that's included with this explains that very, very well. But I'll also explain it again in the video as we go through it. Okay, so just jot that down. Pick the next event always. Never the one you attend. Okay, so printing materials. You want to make sure that the materials are business card size or postcard size. Why? Very simple, because if it's bigger than that, they can't fit it in their pocket. If they can't fit it in their pocket, the rate of advertisements that get thrown out are going to be very high. Okay, if you give me an 8x10 sheet of paper when I'm walking into the store, I'm probably going to throw it out or put it in my card or something. If you pass me a business card as I'm walking into the store, I still may throw it out if it's not interesting to me whatsoever. But chances are, if I have a little bit of interest in what that card says, I'm going to stick it in my pocket while I shop and then take a look at it when I get home. Okay, so you want to make sure that it's something pocket size, something that's going to fit inside of somebody's pocket. Never bigger than that. Okay, next step is you go to the event. Now, before I go into this, the materials that you need to print are inside the PDF file. Okay, there's a very good sample of some of the stuff that I use in there. So take a look at that and make sure you match exactly what I do inside of that PDF file. Okay? Go to the event or send people there. Send people there, outsourcers, employees of your company, however you want to title them. Hopefully you get to the point where you can send people there. And again, you should probably go to the first 2, maybe 3 events just so you get a feeling of what it's like. Because you don't want to send somebody there without you actually knowing what they have to go through. Okay? So go to the first couple, make some money, use that money, reinvest that money back into your company, and hire some people to do it for you. Okay? Hand out the cards to the people. One thing I didn't put in this slide that's important. Hand them out when they're going into the event, not as they're leaving. The reason why you want to hand them as they're going in as opposed to going out is because what if the home team loses? You're going to have a lot of upset fans. So what you want to do is you want to hand them as they go in, not as they go out. Okay? And you want to send them back. You want to convert the same person multiple times. And you want to switch offers. Now, inside the PDF file, it explains this a little bit better, but I'll briefly talk about it. But it is all written out inside of the PDF file. You need to switch offers as much as you possibly can because you're going to be converting the same person over and over again. And if you don't switch the offer, you're not going to get credit for the user converting multiple times. Now, how do we send them back? The way that we do it is we just simply put on our printed materials to vote every game. That's it. Vote every game. On the printed material, just say bookmark the site, vote every game, and all we do is we go in and change it before every game. And those people will continue to come back and back and back over and over and over again or another chance to vote for their favorite team. Okay? And that's what we put on the bottom of card. Now, here's a little bit of a bonus tip for you. This is not in the PDF, so you want to write this down and make sure you understand this one as best as you possibly can. Jot it down, take some notes, watch the video, this part of the video a couple times if you have to. But yes, this is very, very important. It's a little bit of a bonus tip for you inside here. I wasn't going to put this in there, but decided to at the last minute. You have a business card size advertisement. On one side, it's the standard advertisement that we use. The sample is inside of the PDF. On the back side of the card, all you have to put is last chance for this game with another website link. Same design. Same design as the front. Same design as in the PDF. Okay? But on the back side of the card, you put last chance for this game and the two teams that are playing at that event. Go there an hour before the game starts, hand the cards out. This was a test that I did about 8 months ago because I started to see a big influx of traffic right in the beginning of, before the game started, I saw a big influx of traffic, and then an hour after the game ended, that's when my second wave comes in. So I figured, well, if they're coming in before the game starts, obviously they're sitting in their seats on their mobile phones going into the site. So I put last chance for this game because I figured they could vote for the game that they're at. And what do you know? They voted for both. They voted for the game that they're at, and they voted for the next game as well. So I picked up two conversions from one card from the same person. Okay, so that's just a little bonus tip for you that you can add and test out. And the last step is just to make money. This system works very, very well. I've been doing it for about 2.5 years now and never had a problem. The only problem that I had in the beginning was a little bit of the wording on the advertisement. One of the CPA networks did have a problem with it. I switched the wording around. I was missing the word could. You can't put you will win a prize. You have to put you could win a prize. So I switched that up, and ever since then, it's been completely fine. You're going to get instant bursts of traffic right up until the game starts. So as you're handing out the cards, you can literally refresh your stats and watch the traffic come in. Once the game starts, it's going to really cut off. You're going to get them here and there, but it's not going to be like when you first get there and first start handing the cards out. You're going to get another wave of traffic an hour or so after the game ends. Okay? And all you have to do from that point on is just watch the conversions come in, tweak the offers, and test different things. Feel free to make this what you want. If you want to change the advertisement a little bit, you want to do some different offers, test it out, tweak, split test, make sure that you're getting the most for your time, the most for your money when you pay your people to do your work. Okay? That's it for the main system, the main plan. A bonus video called the TV Twist is going to be coming up next, so I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching, and if you have any questions whatsoever, please feel free to email me and I'll answer them right away for you. Okay, just make sure, most important thing, get out there and do it. Don't sit here planning for 6 weeks or anything like that. Just get out there. You have the plan in front of you. Get out there and do it and make some money.